Good morning. I am Kevin Price. Delighted to be with you. Going to spend some time talking to you about you and your business. Lots of things going on the Price of Business. We're really delighted by that and excited about that. The new national TV show on the Biz TV network, 38 million homes. Roughly one-third of the homes around the country. Launches January 3rd next year, and every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so for those who are mainly listening, thank you very much. Thank you. If you can see me, I have one hand saying stop and the other one saying give me more. But that's 11:30 Eastern, 10:30 Central, 9:30 Mountain, 8:30 Pacific Time. So we're excited about that. And it's going to be a lot like this show. And in fact, it's going to be 30 minutes once a week. And shorter segments because we're trying to get more guests in a shorter period of time. But we're also going to rebroadcast the interviews via radio. But we encourage people to watch by TV. And those who are in areas that don't pick up that network, what we got as a partnership. The network has a partnership with FilmOn.com, which represents BBC and several other channels globally, including Biz TV. So you'll be able to see it live while it's being aired on FilmOn.com. So we're pretty excited about that as well.
That sounds really awesome.
Yeah.
Unlike me.
Yeah. Aw. And by the way, he's got this Barry White going because of some kind of respiratory thing that I keep trying to stay.
It's okay.
Further back.
No, it's okay. It's Ebola.
Oh, it's Ebola. I feel so much better.
Yeah.
So much better now. So we're excited about that. People, have no idea how long this kind of thing goes into the making. The reality is that we began working on this about 4 or 5 years ago.
Wow.
And started, stop. Things happen along the way, and all of a sudden it just, the last time we began working on it was less than a month ago, and it all fell together in less than a month, rather than fall apart over months and months. So it is awesome.
Well, I'm very happy for you, and I think you're going to be a proud papa.
A proud I already am, absolutely. So we're excited about that, and it's going to mean a lot of changes. Of course, the radio show is going to continue full steam ahead. But priceofbusiness.com, that website is going to undergo a lot of changes over the next 30 to 60 days. We got to incorporate the whole TV platform. Plus, we've only kind of softly got involved in the podcasting space. We got a couple of great podcasts, but we're wanting to add significantly more, being able to nationally advertise our podcasts on our TV program. Plus, the network's going to be doing multiple ads every week supporting the TV show, which means it ultimately supports priceofbusiness.com. We're going to be, expanding that, and that our website's going to be more reflecting that. So that's a lot of cool changes.
You are in growth mode.
I am in growth mode, rather than just merely being gross.
Gross mode. That's me. I'm in gross mode.
You are in gross mode. So anyway, we're very excited about that. We're also excited. We got a great program lined up for the listener today, and been looking forward to it. I always look forward to it every single day. And today's show, we've got some great ones for us. Who do we have lined up? We got Chris Kidd.
Yes. Geetinder
Goyle.
Yes.
And so those are regular contributors on The Price of Business. I think those are the only regulars on today's show.
And Martha Parker. She's going to be on as well. So, but the show brought to you in part by our friend over there, friend Geetinder and Chris. And as always, they do great jobs for the program. Absolutely. They're great contributors.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to that. At some point, I don't know if I'm going to get into it today because I feel like it's a broken drum. But, a couple of days ago, another mass shooting out there in California. It's unbelievable.
It wasn't a mass shooting. It was a terrorist act.
Yeah, and apparently they are Muslim, but there's no conclusion as to whether or not that's what motivated them. I think it's interesting that no one's making
a Christmas party.
I was just going to say, you're the only person besides me who's making that tie-in.
Yeah.
No one's making that obvious tie-in,
No.
And these Christmas parties, by the way, they've been going on for generations. They're not new phenomenons in the United States of America, including at government buildings. And so how it's getting to the point that people can get this angry by them in a free, pluralistic society is beyond me.
Yeah, but these people had IEDs in their home. It was an IED factory.
Yeah.
That's not
something you do
just because you're mentally ill.
Because you're discontent or disgruntled.
Or mentally ill. Very rarely do you even see that for mental illness.
Well, plus it was two people, not just one.
Right.
So it's a man and his wife. Okay, there's that aspect. She's from Saudi Arabia. She was a mail-order bride from Saudi Arabia. He met her online.
Don't you know there are much better ones from Russia?
Or Asia.
Yeah.
But the truth is there's so much to this story that the media and the Obama administration are trying to craft something else out of it.
Right.
Kevin, they're making it every Democrat has said, well, this is just another mass shooting, we need gun control.
Right.
No, we need immigration control.
Yep.
That lady was not an American citizen. The man was. And as far as I know, she was probably the radicalized element in that situation. I don't know the facts. No one
knows the facts. And just FYI, we don't know the facts. We're wildly speculating, and there's all kind. And what we're doing is, we for all these things we're saying, throw in the word alleged, as well. But all we know is that
it was not workplace violence.
It was not work. I believe that's true. I believe it was not workplace violence.
It was not. It was just not simple workplace
I don't even think
violence.
he worked there.
Well, yeah, I think he did.
Well, yeah, he did.
But the fact is, because he was like a health inspector for the county or the city. The fact of the matter is, workplace violence doesn't look like people who bring remote controlled IEDs and guns and body armor and. It's way more than that.
Yep.
And we need to get down to brass tacks about this. It's not about gun violence per se. It's about terrorism. It's about radical Islamic terrorism. It is here again. It never left after September 11, 2001. It never left. It was there before September 11th, 2001. But it's rearing its ugly head. There's no coincidence here, Kevin, that Paris was just a couple of weeks ago. Now we have this attack in San Bernardino. Why San Bernardino? Because that's where they lived. It doesn't have to be New York City. It doesn't have to be Los Angeles.
And there's plenty of people in that area, obviously.
It doesn't have
14 of them and 17 others were injured.
The country's filled with soft targets, which means we're all a target, potentially.
And apparently soft heads.
We need to remember that terrorism happens everywhere, anywhere. It doesn't matter where it is.
That's
so
exactly true.
It's not a matter of gun violence. Do not let people make this into gun control.
Nope. You know what?
No law could have prevented this.
No law. That's exactly right. If they didn't, you know what? If they had, quote, good gun control, those devices that they found in that home would have been used instead.
That's right. And they had plenty of IEDs.
There was nothing legal about those devices.
No.
And this is the thing people don't get is that they point at the fact that these were all legal guns. This is what the gun control advocates say, is that in the vast majority of cases, they're always legal guns. Well, guess what? They're always used illegally. So if they're not using guns illegally, they're going to use something else illegally.
Well, but here's the point.
That kills people.
They're all legal, right?
Right.
Well, so that means that there are laws that allow them to happen.
Exactly.
That means that laws don't matter.
Exactly.
When people want to hurt people, they're going to do it, whether there's a law against it or not. Let's just outlaw crime.
Right. I didn't know crime wasn't outlawed.
Well, I mean, apparently it's not, because it keeps getting committed. So,
and that's what they don't get. It's this simple. They underestimate the entrepreneurial nature of people who want to kill.
Right.
If you take one way of killing them, they'll come up with another way. The biggest mass killing of kids at school happened in Ada, Michigan, and it happened with an improvised bomb.
Like the 1920s,
yeah,
right?
Killing well over 100. So you make guns illegal, they'll come up with another means of doing it. And so don't underestimate
what was the biggest terrorist
nature.
The biggest terrorist attack on our soil since Pearl Harbor.
They used airplanes.
Well, they used airplanes in Pearl Harbor, too. Interesting.
Yes.
But there were guns attached to those. But in any case, they will find a way. And there's no law that can prevent that, folks. Nope. Although I will say, if we really, really tried hard with immigration, that would at least be something. But, this guy apparently was born in the United States.
Yeah.
So you just can't win.
Nope.
But just from a legal perspective.
I agree. All right, but you can win if you keep on listening to The Price of Business, because we got great information to help you make great decisions in your business life. And check us out over there also at priceofbusiness.com. More for you after this.